The next tip that I want to talk about is do not explain your stories. You have to let your stories speak for themselves. Now, obviously, you want to craft a story that is spoken or written well enough that people understand what's going on. Okay? I'm not saying that you should not explain it enough that people are completely lost and in the dark. But here's what you don't want to do. And I've seen this before, and oftentimes it comes from an insecurity or maybe even well-being of people wanting to make sure that their message was heard. People will tell a story is thematic, it's talking about what other people should do, and then at the very end they want to make sure that they reiterate that people got the message, so they basically just say, here was the message, so go and do it. Honestly, it comes across as condescending because, truthfully, most of your audience members, if you construct a really good story, are going to get it anyway. But even if they come to different conclusions, or even different conclusions than what you set out to achieve in the first place, that's okay. Your goal is to engage your audience. And if they're thinking enough about your story that they're coming to different conclusions, then you've already hooked them. Their mind is already working. And as a speaker, that's exactly what you want. You're going to have an audience or a group of people that will take different things away. You can speak for 5 minutes, and each of the people in your group will take away different things. Recently, I was at a conference and I was live tweeting, and I was listening to the same speaker as 5,000 or more other people, and it was so interesting to hear, and not necessarily to hear, but to see what other people were live tweeting along with me. And even though we are hearing the same quotes and the same stories, we were coming to different outcomes. Now, I can almost guarantee you that the speaker is going to be okay with that because we're engaged with what he is, in this case, he or she is saying. Now, I've chosen the story of the ugly duckling because this story is one that we are very familiar with, but I have heard so many different explanations of what this story is about. Everything from identity to beauty to the differences of between a swan and a duck. And trust me, this story is not actually about waterfowl. So if you hear people talking about that, you can just correct them in that area. But the story is rich enough to stand on its own legs. You don't necessarily need people to tell you that this is what it means, because good art, good literature, good writing, good storytelling will mean different things to different people. But the fact that people are listening to it and engaging and thinking about it means you are connected to them. And that is exactly what you want.